that we can hold hands during this episode.
That's not gonna happen.
Why? Why are your hands so warm and clammy?
Because I'm not.
You're nervous. It's been a while since we last spoke, hasn't it?
Yes.
It's been like a month or so. I feel like a lot of people needed some time to really relax. Tim is also in tax season. This is the first time I've seen him in 2 months. How are you feeling?
Not good.
Okay. Well, I like your hair.
I don't.
Okay.
Haven't had time to cut it.
Well, as many of you may or may not know, it's Women's History Month. And what does that mean to you, Tim?
It's just another month for me because I'm a white man in America.
A cisgender white man.
What does that mean?
Just as you are.
We don't need a term for that.
Anyway, guys, so what I did was I created a very fun quiz for us to go over. So the whole thing happened with my production team. Like, you know, we have a very poor production team, which is why, like, it's just very low budget. You know, we have tried multiple times to find a really good team around us. We had someone stop by that would have been great, but Tim didn't like them.
Didn't like them?
Tim was like, I don't have time, and the person that we got had to go. Anyway, back to Women's History Month. I have a quiz prepared for us. I thought everyone was doing it. You didn't even go to elementary school.
You would think everybody.
You didn't go to elementary school. Okay, so I prepared a little quiz for us, well, for you to see how much you know about women's history. Could you please tell us who made remote? Oh no, I should have put R and W. Who made remote hook? Remote. That type of work possible with her work on voice over internet protocol. Was it A, Mary Bethune, B, Marion Croak, C, Blue Ivy Carter, or D, Stephanie Germanotta?
No idea, but A sounds like a fake name, like the name Sylvester. C is obviously not it.
You know who C is?
Isn't it a child? Some privileged child. Anyway, D sounds like a smart German.
You chose Lady Gaga.
Really? I don't know her name.
Yeah, the answer is B. She's about to be inducted into the Women's or the Inventors Hall of Fame. I think this year sometime. As you can see, I don't have my card. Life is really crazy for me.
I only picked D because it had German in the name. I was like, it's probably a German.
No, it wasn't. It's a black woman. Which woman has sold 16 million records and also has a Filipino background? Is it A, Vanessa Hudgens, B, Shay Mitchell, C, Nicole Scherzinger, or D, Olivia Rodrigo?
You really should have had Ileana's name on here.
No, but she was going to be in it, which is...
That would have been even funnier.
Okay, well, obviously it's not funny at all because she's sitting...
You messed up.
Maybe you should make the quiz next month.
None of these names look like they have a Filipino background.
No one said they were full Filipino. You don't even know what Filipino means.
I'll say Vanessa Hudgens.
Wrong. You're not doing well. It's Nicole Scherzinger. Do you know who Vanessa Hudgens is? Do you know who these people are?
Like, I know the name Vanessa Hudgens.
Do you know the other people?
I've seen Olivia Rodrigo. I don't know who that is.
Are you Gen Z?
No.
Sounds like it. Okay. Are you ready? Which of these famous soccer players was born in Selma, Alabama? A, Sarah Thompson, B, Mia Hamm, C, Asia Naomi King, or D, Toni Braxton?
C.
Asia Naomi King is incorrect. Mia Hamm.
Really?
Yeah.
She was from Selma?
Right in your backyard.
Interesting.
That's where you guys get it from. Your little soccer things you be doing.
There's only been one men's player in history to be from Alabama and like play for the national team.
Who was it?
He was like a joke that like sat the bench.
You wish it were you.
He was actually from like Iceland or something. They had dual citizenship and like grew up in Alabama.
Where?
Mobile, I think. I think they've got a new one now, but like when I was in high school, that was the case.
You were hoping it was going to be you at one point?
It's too much work. But anyway, interesting. Mia Hamm's from
Yeah.
Selma. I definitely would not have expected that.
Yeah, she is from.
Honestly, you didn't know there were any white people from Selma.
Where's Mia Hamm right now?
I mean, she's like retired and like occasionally shows up for the Women's World Cup as like an announcer.
Did she go back to Selma?
I doubt it. I have my doubts.
Well, thank you for playing. You got all 3 of them wrong.
I expected nothing less.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like a competition, but
Ileana would not have done better.
I mean, that was the thing, to see like who did better.
Yeah.
And it had like a question for every single person. It was gonna be great.
Okay.
Next year. Okay. TV stuff. What have you been watching? What have you been loving?
I've been working, so I haven't been watching TV a lot.
You've been watching.
So yeah, I'm a hard worker and don't have time for this, but I did rewatch Dexter so that I could watch the new season, because Dexter had originally had the worst end to a show, series end, whatever the term for it is. The absolute worst end to a show in history.
You already said that.
Look, man, I'm trying to get there. And anyway,
Are you okay?
rewatched that just so I could like be familiar with it when I get to watch season 9. I watched the first episode of season 9. It was actually pretty good, so it, like, got my interest again.
As much as you describe it to me, I feel like I have watched Dexter as well.
Yeah, it's a pretty good show. You should have watched it.
I don't want to watch it.
You watch other serial killer shows,
like
Criminal Minds.
that was great.
Exactly.
That's the only other one I watch. I don't really watch.
You tried to watch that one on Netflix, but it was like written poorly.
And I don't like overly gory stuff.
You also like stuff with like Ted Kaczynski and people like that, though. So
Please do not get me fired by mentioning that name. My goodness.
I mean, he's like a public figure.
He's a terrorist.
He is, but
anyway, you always want to bring the conversation back to that man.
Anyway, I've watched that. Been watching The Walking Dead, which is supposedly wrapping up, but it's not.
It should have wrapped up season 3.
They just keep creating spin-offs, and anyway, it needs to go. It's time to just blow up the world at this point in Walking Dead. Have I watched anything else? Ozark.
I mean, by yourself? No. Yeah. Together, we've watched quite a few things. So the things that are on here. So it's under Good TV, but something I haven't been like super obsessed with. We were trying to get into Inventing Anna, which isn't. I mean, it's like a slow.
It's too slow for me.
Like, we're slowly getting into it. We always make fun of Ruth Langmore, which is not her real name, and like the different accent she does. Because she lost Ruth Langmore's accent in Ozark, I guess, because she was filming a whole bunch of other stuff. But it's not as like twangy. But Inventing Anna is like, it's fine. Just, Shonda Rhimes. I'm sure it'll get good. I watched by myself pieces of her while Tim was in the room.
I wasn't seeing it.
Yeah, you were in there. It was fine.
Snowfall's good.
Snowfall is always amazing. It's on like the 3rd episode of the season so far, and they said this season's gonna be pretty crazy.
Bria really likes All American.
I think I'm gonna have to let it go. Not All American, but All American Homecoming.
I'm not watching that anymore.
I think I have to let it go.
That is the cheesiest, lamest show I've ever watched.
And it's also like they picked a character that no one cared about on the original All American, which the girl, like the main character, said that. Where it's like, I just like, maybe I've aged out of it as well, and I don't care.
Well, they try way too hard to throw in current events.
Well, they do in All American too.
I know they do, and that's why I've kind of dialed off on All American. But in the spinoff, I have. And in the spinoff, it's like everyone is speaking like a cartoon character, where like the coaches are all like, it's just very overdone. And even with their current events and stuff like that, they have some very overdoneness.
Anyway, sounds good. And we're also watching, I watched Euphoria, which was really good. Pin 15 series finale. I didn't get to talk about that, but that was one of the best finales of a show I've ever watched. Grand Crew is something I watch in my spare time when I'm working. Succession is fine. I think it gets us through, like, if we're looking, everything have like 5 episodes left, so it's okay in that season. Raising Dion was for children, and I had to, I'm not coming for this 3rd season.
You enjoyed that.
I did not. I didn't like it, and I also don't like the mom in the show.
The mom.
It's just a character I don't care for.
I didn't really like any of the characters this season.
I mean, the little boy's like fine. Like I'll follow his story, but like I don't like the mom. That's the one was cheating with Justin Timberlake, allegedly. Anyway, Super Story, watch that in our spare time. It's super fun. Abbott Elementary with Quinta. That's also a good one. Any other things you want to point out? Obviously, Too Hot to Handle. We watched that and Love Is Blind. Reality show just for trash.
You've got Temptation Island coming back soon.
Temptation Island does come back at the end of March, I think. I know Tim loves it.
That's your favorite show.
No, my favorite show is Maps. Oh my gosh, one time I don't have water, I need it. Yeah, Temptation Island comes back, Atlanta comes back. Those are two I'm like waiting on right now. So everything should be good. We'll let you know how those are, but we'll see. Anything else you'd like to add?
Nope. My section. Well, it's NCAA tournament time, obviously. Got my Auburn on. Well, NCAA tournament hasn't started yet, but made it through the SEC tournament. Auburn had a lot of hype going in and totally choked. Lost to Texas A&M, of all teams. Very terrible team. Texas A&M at least made it to the championship, though, so at least it makes our loss look better, but lost our number 1 seed that we were supposed to be getting. Would have been the first in school history. So that's your school, man. But for the first time in history, though, 4 teams from the state of Alabama are going to make the tournament.
What are the 4 teams?
Auburn, Alabama, Jacksonville State, and UAB. UAB and Jacksonville State won their conference tournament, so automatic bids, and Auburn and Alabama are locks.
Are those community colleges?
No.
Okay.
I had a lot of cousins go to Jacksonville State. I feel like it's a pretty country place.
Your family loves Jacksonville.
It's not in that Jacksonville.
I know,
it's in
but I'm just
Alabama.
saying in general, you guys love Jacksonville. Anything named that, you guys are like, let's go.
Okay. Interesting. Well, have you been following the news with World War III or anything like that?
No.
Me neither, but apparently it has led to the demise of Chelsea Football Club because Chelsea's owner is a Russian, terrorist, I guess. I don't know what he is. Oligarch. I think that means terrorist. I don't know.
Oligarch.
Yep. I don't pay attention to Russian politics at all, so I don't know who this man is. Just know apparently he's a supporter of Putin, and now Chelsea is burning to the ground. England has, or the United Kingdom has, basically locked all their accounts. They can't gas up the buses to take them to games. Their sponsor told them they can't wear their jerseys anymore, or sell merchandise, so no money coming in. They're pretty much messed up. Your friend Christian Pulisic plays for them still, but
what is he gonna?
he's probably not going to get paid.
What about Weston McKennie?
Weston McKennie is injured currently. He is out for the season for Juventus.
Oh, I thought he played on this team.
No, Chelsea only has Pulisic.
Oh.
But yeah, the United States though is gearing up for the final 3 games of World Cup qualifying, and very big games because they could either get locked into the World Cup or they could bow out still. And the World Cup is in the fall, so this last 3-game window, gotta qualify, gotta get in, and then hope everyone survives until November, because it is in Qatar, which not really good with geography, but it's over in that part of the world.
You're really showing your education, Alabama education.
Alabama education. It's the Middle East. I don't know any other than that.
Are you gonna watch the World Cup?
Of course.
All of them?
Probably.
Okay.
And it's not tax season, so I can really watch the World Cup. It's gonna be a great time. I'm probably gonna take off a month of work because it's all in 1 month. It's gonna be a great time. We're gonna have a lot of parties.
Just you and
Me and our
yourself.
friends.
You and who?
Our friends. Jinjin's gonna come down. It's gonna be a fun time down here, and
No, not on this level.
it's gonna be right here.
Are
Lots
you
of
done
pizza.
trash talking?
Lots of pizza. I guess so. I can't think of anything else.
Well, I hope your friends can make it back, and you can have your friends back with their little volleyball and flowers and their logo.
Yeah.
I wish you the best.
Thank you so much.
It's all or nothing. It's all or nothing. That's all we really are. Maths, guys. Okay, so I don't think we really got a chance to talk about this, but they're in Boston. And what are you thinking about the season so far?
It's not enough drama.
I think Atlanta really set the bar like crazy high. Like that season was like every episode I was super excited.
It was really just because that one guy that was like totally trash there.
Yeah, and I was here. She kept going back to him, and I was like, keep showing him.
But like, and not to stick with Atlanta for too long, but like she was that kind of person who was like really mentally weak and would go with someone who like abused her forever.
We had that person, but then we also had the other guy that was like dressed like a cowboy or like dressed really weird and was like, their fight was just weird. He was like older than Haley, and he like wore like, he just dressed very poorly and like didn't want to travel or do anything with her. They just like didn't connect. I thought that one was interesting.
I don't remember that one.
Well, anyway, off Atlanta. What was the season after Atlanta? Texas somewhere?
One was in New Orleans. Was that before or
No,
after?
that was before. I think there was like one in between.
Houston.
Weird.
Because there was one that was like Houston that looked just like Atlanta. Because apparently they're like identical cities.
Was it Houston?
Maybe.
Wow, I don't even remember. Anyway, back to Boston.
And this is her favorite show.
There's just so many seasons and they're so bad. You only get like a month off. So like if no one really sticks out in my mind, it was the Zach and Bao and Gil and Mirla.
Okay.
It was in Texas.
Mirla was the trash person of
But
that
was it
season.
Houston?
It was Houston, I think.
Okay. Was it Dallas?
It's like where else would it be? It's definitely not Dallas.
Oh, Dallas was Temptation Island that one time. Okay, yeah. Houston, yeah. Texas. I remember all the people. It's coming back now. That was a pretty good season. Anyway, we're in Boston now, and already one of the couples is completely out and not even on the show anymore, which is Alyssa and what's the man's name?
You just know Miss Snaggletooth.
Stop! Oh my god! Y'all, excuse me. You drink from this?
You can drink.
What is it?
Gatorade.
I've never liked Gatorade. Anyway, Alyssa and Chris, I think his name. So Alyssa's like, I don't like, this is like before they're getting married. Alyssa's like, I don't like men with snaggletooth, like trash, like, and so as Chris is standing at the altar, like the cameraman this season is so shady, where he zoomed in on this man's teeth, and like, no, he does not have a nice smile, but like, I'm sure he's a great personality. But anyway, just like zoom in on it where it's like, this is gonna be an issue. It's like, down. Great TV.
But if you're gonna be all weird about like someone's personal appearance and like have certain standards, you have to have those for yourself. And she is like, she looks like a 12-year-old. She dresses like a 12-year-old, and it's like she has to wear a ton of makeup to cover a lot of problems because she looks kind of like a clown.
It was so funny because so Tim was just like, Tim obviously says very off-color, off-the-wall comments, as we all know, and sometimes appreciate and sometimes are offended by. Anyway, so on the show, the girl is dressed like she's from Arthur. Like she's wearing like jeans, like straight jeans, a white cami, and like a red cardigan, but like she just doesn't have any like features. So she's like from afar, she just looked like a cartoon. And Tim was like, what did you say? She was like, I think you said
middle school student.
Yeah, I died.
It's literally how every one of the basic, especially
here he goes.
Most especially the basic Caucasian girls in 7th grade looked. And I don't even mean like just how they dress, the whole look.
Yeah.
She looks like a 7th grader.
It was so funny.
Like the caked on makeup fits too, because all these middle schoolers.
You're wearing makeup in 7th grade?
Yeah, that's when they like started putting on makeup and didn't know how to do it, so they just cake it on. Clown.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know when I
7th grade
started
was a
wearing
wild
mascara. I'll have to think about it. Anyway, So Alyssa, not obviously, but because of, I don't know, she said he just wasn't her type. She was like not trying to talk to the man.
Also, going back to the petty cameraman. There's also someone, the cameraman,
that was not their wedding.
Keeps focusing on at someone else's wedding.
It was I think
the gum line is horrific. But they keep going back to this person. They've shown her like 12 times across.
Are you drinking out of this cup?
Yes.
No, it's mine now.
No, it's not.
No, seriously, stop. It's mine.
Continue your talk.
Anyway, you need to stop making fun of people.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta get away from you. I'm trying to get good energy.
I'm not making fun of them.
You have a lot of dark energy in your 6'2" body, okay?
I'm 6'3".
Yeah. So anyway.
5 flat.
Okay, so Chris and Alyssa, Alyssa was like, I'm not attracted to him, and was like trying to avoid him during the honeymoon, during the wedding. Very, very like mean about it. And Chris was just like, I just want to be your friend. Whole thing, they're not on the show anymore. Short story long. Other way around. Olajuwon and Katina. Okay, so listen. Katina's mother, the first time she meets Olajuwon is like, what type of name is Olajuwon? And he's like, it's Nigerian, right? Who does that? If I were in that situation, I would be like, what type of name is Katina? Like, that's not even like, how are you gonna come at this man for his name?
Yeah, I already don't like him because he didn't snap back. Like, if you don't have like a good hot comeback to that, you're weak.
Yeah, I feel like if your name was Olajuwon or like your name was of a particular background, like you should be ready with. Maybe he was nervous because it's like the mom of his new wife.
At least Olajuwon has like a real reason. Katina's like, she was named after a hurricane and forgot the R.
Anyway, everyone was saying that Olajuwon seemed like he was going to be such a great husband, and Olajuwon has a long history of cheating, which Katina has said that a lot of her past boyfriends have cheated on her, and that's like a trigger for her. So like and then it's also like there's a lot of issues with Olajuwon as we've continued on outside of that, where Olajuwon is like, I need my wife to. He basically wants a wife from like the 1950s where like she stays at home and she cooks, she cleans, and like that's it. Keep in mind that Olajuwon is a municipal water waste person. So he's like treating water, and like Katina, I forget what her job is. She's like a benefits analyst.
They have to have a 2-income household.
They need 2 income, right. And
but he keeps making comments about how she's working from home, so she should be able to do all this cooking dinner and stuff. Because he's one of these super old school people who thinks working from home means you're not working.
Right. And
like all these executives are trying to force us all back into the office right now.
Let people live. And another thing, okay, so Tim, like, if I did not know how to cook, would you have married me?
I mean, probably.
Would you have complained about it?
No, because I didn't know any better anyway.
Would you have been like, this makes you less of a woman because you don't know how to cook? These are the types of things that Olajuwon has attacked Katina for, because she like doesn't cook and she just like orders things because she's like, I just don't cook. And he's like, you need to be like, you're not a real woman because like you don't know how to do that. So offensive. And she's just like,
no, if you're like saying that you want to be like a traditional housewife and stay at home and just like raise kids and have nothing else to add, and you're not doing any cleaning, cooking, anything, I have to come home and do that too, then I'm going to be like, okay, bye. What are you bringing to the table?
Yeah. So, on the other side of that, Steve and Noi, which is at the top corner over here. So, Steve is like a former sales engineer, and Noi is a recruiter. So, I say former for Steve because Steve quit his job to go like not backpacking, trucking, driving across the country to like sleep.
A van?
Yeah. Like sleep in a van. And so Noi comes from a background. It's like they purposely put these people together. Like, yes, I know it's a reality show. I know it's for whatever. But anyway, so Noi is like the type of person that comes from a background where she likes like a stable household. People are working. She can rely on her husband. She like really wants like a provider. So it's like the same sort of like value situation here. But like she really likes for her man to be a provider. She's like, will work too, but like I need you to like, I don't want to be on shaky ground. Steve, on the other hand, like me and Tim are like, oh, maybe Steve just has like a lot of like savings. Like he doesn't seem like he cares about like working because he's, may have a lot of money. But when
That's how he made it seem.
That's what it's made. But then when they met with the experts, Steve is like, I keep the house spotless and I cook for you. So like, what else do you want from me? And she's like what? Like, so he actually wants to like be a stay-at-home dad that like cooks and cleans. Like he does not want to go back to work. So I think that's going to cause some issues. Like I feel like those are like the core. It's like a main core thing that'll cause a divorce.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, like, of course, I just want to stay at home and like cook and clean, but
you want to cook and clean?
Not really, but
you
like
don't
over
those things.
over working for PwC and like doing these miserable tax hours. Yeah, that would. The food wouldn't be good. Cleaning might not be good either, but I'd rather be doing that than tax.
I can't imagine if you were the.
But also, like, I ain't giving up the lifestyle to like sit at home. So like,
I would not.
I couldn't live out of a van either.
Like, I wouldn't want. I'm totally fine with everyone work. Like, I personally would like to retire. I would have liked to retire before I started working in the first place. Like, if you were a trust fund baby, A+, let's do it. Let's settle into this.
I was hoping you were.
I was honestly hoping.
I was really hoping you were.
I was really hoping you were.
I'm not trying to work my whole life.
I don't want to work at all. Like, I didn't even want to start working.
35 is my retirement age.
30 is mine.
No, we retire at the same time.
No. Anyway, so I agree where it's like, obviously, who doesn't want a stable life? You know what I mean? But if you were like, I'm going to stay at home, and like, it's going to be some issues because I'm staying at home. Oh my gosh. Mark the Shark and what's her name?
Maggie?
I don't know her name. I forget what her name is. Mark the Shark and
Chase is gonna tell on me.
Mark the Shark and I don't know what her name is. Okay, but she goes in, like she went in on Mark in one of the episodes, attacking his income and attacking his performance. It's like, it's crazy. Where it's like, that's like way too below the belt to be saying about this
in
format.
public, on TV, like that's making
But
TV.
even to the person though.
Yeah.
Like you don't do those types of things in an argument. Like even if you're like super mad at them, like you should not be like attacking somebody for those qualities and traits. Like that's too far. And she said that and she admitted it. I don't know if Mark the Shark has actually seen it. And Haley?
He was.
Her name's not Haley.
Maybe you didn't know. Her name is not Haley.
It's not Haley.
It's something basic, like
Claire.
It's on the level of Maggie.
It's like, okay, no, he's definitely not seen it.
Yeah, but I thought he had heard part of it while he's sitting there on the stairs, but...
Yeah, because he had like a roach, or he had like a bed bug problem, and he like was at one point living with his mom, and he's like 35 years old, and he like, or 40, and he like, she said he sells gym memberships, and like...
That sounds like a lot of people that are like in their 30s that we've been around that are still living at home and doing something like, what?
He's 40.
Yeah, those people are going to be 40 still living at home too. You made it to 30.
But like Haley or Maggie, I mean, I get what she's saying, where what is her job? She stays at home too. Not stays at home, but she like works from home. I don't know what she does.
She don't work.
She does. But I don't know if they're gonna work. They may. They go like, they're very hot and cold. Jasmina and Michael, they give me friend vibes. I think they would be friends. They're not like, they don't have the chemistry there.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna be friends. I think they'd be great friends though.
Well, yeah, he already has like female roommates. They got weird about.
Yeah. He like hid the fact that he had a female roommate.
Because he thought it was weird.
After she like outwardly asked him like, have you ever lived with a woman? And he's like, no. And then like as they're in the apartment, she sees like a woman walking by, like coming like to the bathroom, to the room. And it's like, don't drink from my cup.
It's my cup.
Anyway, I think they're friends. I think they'd be great friends. I think like after this they'd be like, hey, like, do you want to hang out?
They'll probably be roommates.
Yeah, roommates, and they can go like play at an arcade. She's like really into like K-pop and arcade type stuff, so I think that'd be fun. Well, who do you think's gonna last? Some glaring. Well, that's not even a thing, but there's some glaring issues.
Get back together.
Okay. Well, actually, it's crazy because Mark the Shark was messaging Alyssa because Alyssa was like, "I want to still be on the show," and then Maggie found out and was like, Alyssa had blocked her, and she's like, "You can't be talking to my husband but not talking to me." Crazy.
Yeah, it's weird.
Mm-hmm. Who do you think's gonna make it?
None of them.
You don't think any of them are gonna make it? I think
the only way they make it, can't remember their names.
Steve and Noy.
Steve and Noy. Only reason they might make it is if Noy is like a weak person and doesn't like stand her ground, because I don't think Steve is gonna get a job.
You think he's
again.
gonna get a job?
He seems like one of those lazy people that wants to like.
I hope he gets a job.
He seemed totally content with like living in a van and just like living off the land.
I think people like that. If you're like that, you did not need a wife.
No.
Unless you find a very particular person that is like exactly like you, that is cool with living in a van with you and being very poor.
It would be like that certain person I used to work with that, from Atlanta. If he got a wife, because he's always talking about how he wants to just like quit and like live in a van, and just like he goes camping all the time, and like he's like a minimalist. Like in his apartment, all he has is a bed and like 4 sets of clothes.
So you guys know how Tim's personality is, where it's like an acquired.
Wow.
I just find it like, I met this person that he's talking about in real life, and I was like, wow, like my personality, I don't get along with this person. I'm going to step away from the situation. And I'm like, how is Tim able to be friends with this person?
I don't get along with him, but
You're the type of people, it's just so interesting.
you just have to have like a strong personality, because if you get offended too easily, like I don't have time for you.
But I feel like your personalities would clash so much where it's like you wouldn't want to hang out in the
it's
same
like a
room
constant
together.
argument, but like
What?
I'm good with that. I'm good with argument.
What
Like
is-
as long as you don't get all like offended and like hurt by like me telling the truth about you. Then...
When I see you in public or
Yeah.
like out, I'm like, what is my personality like for this to work? You're like, what am I like? Because I think I'm like literally perfect. Anyway, back to maps. Who I think is gonna win? I don't know. There's a lot of glaring problems with all of them. I feel like the closest would be Noy and Steve, but they get in fights over pasta and noodles. I think Noy has a little bit of growing up to do as well as Steve. Steve needs to like be a grown man.
And they're like 40, so like, how are you not?
I think he's 37. I think she's 31. So he's a lot older than her.
Yeah, but she's still like.
Yeah,
If you're 30 plus and still talking about growing up, you missed the boat.
There's some communication issues. And I think communication is the foundation to every relationship, friendship, any sort of ship.
Workship.
Communication.
Yeah.
Well, share your thoughts with us. What's so funny?
You're just awkward. Awkward transitions.
Well, you do it. How would you like to transition?
I'm good. It's your show.
No, you're a co-host. How would you like to transition?
I'm temporary. I don't get.
You're
my
not
advice
temporary.
without-
You've been in the co-host for like 3 years at this point. Unfortunately, you're staying. No one else will be on the show with me.
Somebody will.
No, I've asked 2 people.
You'll have friends one day.
2 of my friends.
You'll have friends one
One's
day.
not even my friend. It's my brother. Anyway, guys.
Let's wrap this up.
So you can go eat pizza?
Maybe.
I mean, I can talk to you all day long.
I can too, but we don't need to be on camera. I have some more offensive stuff I need to say.
Please don't. Please. I don't have to edit this mess out.
You're not editing anything?
I'm going to edit it.
You're not editing
I
what
am
said.
editing it.
If anything goes edited, I'll put it in the comments.
Oh my gosh, please. I'm going to block you.
You're gonna...
All your different accounts, I'm blocking you.
You're editing out what I said about the Adidas commercial, aren't you? Or I didn't speak about
Do
that.
not. Hey guys,
Man.
thank you so much for
Wow.
being here. We are forever thankful that you tuned in to our show. Please keep us alive. Do not report us for Tim's comments. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you in the coming months.
What's this?
Oh, I thought we could hold hands.
Why?
Why are you so warm?
It's hot in here.
It's not. Bye, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, wait. That's it.
So awkward.